Go. Hello, Mile Hires. It's Dr. Joel in the basement, bringing you another podcast with a speaker, the guy who opens it up for 11 years. He's joining us today. So again, milehighchiro.org. If you haven't been there, get registered. We have more registrants this far out than we've ever had for Mile High. Importantly, get your registration, but get your hotel as well and get your flights. If you want to stay at the hotel, it might be already booked. So you've got to get in, get your registered, get there, get ready to go. milehighchiro.org. We are here with Dr. Joe Arvay, two Colorado chiropractors coming together again for a once a year visit for the Mile High. Welcome, Dr. Joe Arvay. How you doing today?
Good. Can you hear me okay all right there? Can you hear me?
We got you loud and clear.
Got it now. Okay, good. I am awesome, and I'm excited about Mile High 2024 this year. It's going to be cool. It's going to be so awesome.
It's the 11th year, and you have opened it up every year. So you always kick it off with a bang on that Thursday night, just getting people pumped up, ready to go for the Mile High weekend. So we're excited to have you again.
Awesome. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. So this year's theme is, the way Danny's mind works. It's a spinal tap theme, but importantly, the band's volume didn't go 1 to 10. It went 1 to 11. So Danny's theme this year is yes, we're going to have the science, we're going to have the art, we're going to have the philosophy, everything chiropractic needs to have under one tent. But we're going to talk about taking chiropractic to another level in your office, in your family, in the community, everywhere you go, taking chiropractic and the lifestyle to another level. And that's what you're all about. Your family's been that way for many, many years.
Yeah, 30 years. And so my first question is, if Mile High is really being, cranked to 11, my question is, I don't know how long people have been in practice, but why are you not already at 11? You have a principle, you have a method, you have a process, you have an art, science, and philosophy that is literally cranked to 11 for the whole world to enjoy. When BJ said, get the big idea and all that follows, that's really what it's all about. And so I'm kicking off this seminar, and the name of my talk is Manifesting the Chiropractic Promised Land, which means the only way you get to the promised land chiropractically is having every thought, every action, every choice, every word, everything you do is congruent, and it's in alignment with the principles in which you're living and you're serving, so that your life naturally, it needs no help, just no interference, to be cranked to 11 at all times. That's the potential that we have inside of us. And so that my prayer and my hope is that as we kick off this Mile High 2024 cranked to 11, is that wherever you're coming in at, if you're cranked to 7, you're cranked to 5, you're cranked to 2, you're cranked to 10, we want you to spend that weekend getting everything back cranked to 11. And basically has to deal with removing interference. And I've been doing deep dives on this for so long now. It's that we have to realize, how do you manifest a chiropractic promised land? How do you live a life cranked to 11? Well, really, it starts with peace. It starts with being in a positive state. It has to start realizing that your mind and your words and your actions and your procedures and how you treat yourself, how you treat your family, how you treat your team, how you treat your patients, all have to be in alignment. And literally, that there's so much, that literally your love is what's cranked to 11. And that's what I want to kick off that room, is get everybody's love cranked to 11, get their expectations cranked to an 11, so that they have an amazing weekend, just really feeling what it's like to be living at an 11 all weekend.
Yeah, so some of the interviews I've done, we're talking about generations. We have a new generation of chiropractors, and you and I have been doing this for decades now, but we've lost some, if not all, of the greats from this profession. And when you talk about the promised land, that rings true to me, because back in the day when they were going after the promised land, they just took a step forward. They knew it was true. They knew the truth was there. They just took a step forward, going to the promised land. And that's what this next generation of chiropractors needs to understand, is that you're standing on the shoulders of giants on a principle that has stood the test of time. And all you've got to do is take a step forward. My father always just said, when we were doing projects, he just said, just start digging. Just start digging. Yep. The problem will solve itself when you just start digging. And that's the way it is in practice, in life, and family, and raising a generation of a chiropractic lifestyle, is take that step forward. And if you don't have that foundation, and I love you're going to be starting with this, if you don't have the foundation to just take a step forward and know in truth you will make it to the promised land, you'll never reach the expectations of your life, of your family, of your practice, and bringing chiropractic in your community.
And that's the key. I mean, you know, the last 3 or 4 years has been an exposing, if you would, of chiropractic and chiropractors. I mean, they talked a good talk from the stage. They talked a good talk on their content. But man, when it came push to shove, those who really chose to stick to the principle, when the whole world was saying, let's go, and be anti-principle, let's be mechanistic, man, we got shooken. And so, when I say the promised land, we have to realize, why is there a promised land? Because if you go back to the story of Moses, you look in the Bible, there was in Egypt, and many of us chiropractors are living in an Egypt where we're slaves or prisoners to insurance systems, we're to a technique, to a coaching group. We're literally prisoners, and we need to basically break the chains and decide to be set free of that. But once we get out of Egypt, then we have to spend time getting the Egypt out of us. And like you said, it's one click at a time. It's one step at a time. It's one shift at a time. It's one adjustment at a time. And as we continue to live each day in alignment with these principles of chiropractic from above down, inside out, that takes our life, A, out of Egypt, but B, then we start getting the Egypt out of us. And then here's the thing. Once we get to the promised land, all right, we're loving people, we're serving people, we're paying our bills, we're having fun. Now the battle is to stay there, because that's what the legends and our mentors and our founding fathers realized. You never arrive. You go from Egypt, then you get the Egypt out of you, then you get to the promised land, and then you got to fight like crazy to stay in that promised land, because Egypt's always trying to lure you back, as Danny says, with shiny things to come and make life easy, but it's not promised land living. And so basically, wherever you are on your journey, let's get you out of Egypt. Let's set you free again. Then let's get the Egypt out of you. But then let's also realize, even if your life is great, get to the seminar so that we can keep you strong in the promised land, because living in the promised land is where you take every minute matters, 24/7, 365, 24/7, 365, on purpose, on a mission. Even when I take my naps each day, I'm still on purpose. I'm still on a mission. I'm not running around crazy. Everything is calculated. Everything is congruent. But every thought is on purpose. Every adjustment's on purpose, because I realize that there's an evil out there that wants to pull me back to Egypt, and I ain't going back, and I don't want anyone to go back. And that's the purpose of Mile High 2024, is to get you and keep you cranked to 11.
Yeah, Danny and I talk about the squirrel effect. We have texts throughout the week of just the latest shiny thing, the latest squirrel, where everyone gets distracted of what's going on. And one of the things that I love being a part of the Mile High movement is, it is a tent that everybody is welcome under.
Yes.
Out here in Denver, Colorado. We have presidents of multiple colleges that come out. Many techniques are represented. You are home. It's for chiropractic. It's not for the marketing group. It's not for the coaching group, though they're welcome, and everybody's welcome because it's a chiropractic tent. And that's a beautiful thing about Mile High.
Yeah. I mean, I have a t-shirt that says chiropractic, disrespected and censored since 1895. And the thing is that if you are living the principle, then you are under attack. I mean, if you try to live the principle in your marriage, the principle in your family, we always say, listen, we're not out here selling pizza. We're out here selling lima beans, which means, but guess what? Over the last 3 or 4 years, lima beans, our way of life, has become the solution to so many people suffering. And so literally the principle of chiropractic, living an above, down, inside out life, is the solution for the planet. I mean, if you're, you're pro-human, you're pro-planet, you need to be there, because again, what we do every day in our practice, and we get beat up, and we need to fill ourselves back full of love. But the love that people feel, not online, in our brick and mortar, come into our practice. Let us lay our hands, let us lay our hearts on you, and let us help love you. Whether you're a chiropractor, whether you're a chiropractic patient, chiropractic family, chiropractic staff, everybody needs more love. Everybody needs to continue to be manifesting that promised land. And I can't think of a better place to do it under one roof is at Mile High this year.
Yeah, September 21st. It's going to be great. If you're just joining us, milehighchiro.org. I don't know why this came up to me, but I think we've had this discussion in the past where you can get hung up on the island and you can be the chief of your island. But if you're on an island by yourself, eventually the world and the squirrels and the shiny objects are going to get you. I love getting together with like you. It's like we see each other once, twice a year, but when we get back together, we know we're on the same island. We are
Yeah.
together. We are on this front, and that's what September 21st is going to be all about.
Yeah, there should be no Lone Rangers in chiropractic. It doesn't go well. The mission's too big, folks. If you think you can save the world by yourself, Jesus tried that and look what it ended up, and he's still around. He's still loving people, and I still love Jesus. But man, we don't need any more Jesus. We don't need anybody to be crucified for the sake of the principle. We need to band together. We need to be sharpening each other. We need to be loving on each other and encouraging each other, not be robots, not be copycats, not be the exact, versions of each other. If you and I are the same, one of us isn't necessary. And so, but we need to really be able to pull out the best that's in each of you have to offer to make this world a better place. We need to be able to sharpen each other and get better. I mean, there's stuff that speakers have said from the stage at Mile High that just really was the right time, the right purpose for a divine download. I mean, and it's just been amazing where I just leave Mile High every time because it's not the same old show. It's not the same old story. You get so much different versions, different people bringing the best that they have to offer with love, peace, and joy. That, man, it's just you leave there so full. And then the job is then to go forward and take every day from Mile High 2024 until Mile High 2025, actually taking action on all the things you get downloaded. And sometimes it takes a whole year to process one thought that was downloaded to you from a speaker. But that's okay. It's a journey to get to that promised land and stay in that promised land.
Yeah, I'm blessed enough that I get to sit up in that booth and hear every word that everybody says. And I'm always amazed at the end of my weekend, the notes that I have to go back on Monday. And yes, they might not have been implemented on Monday, but there's that one way of communicating a principle in your office, or that one way of addressing, one way to love somebody differently in that office.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's just this list of things that I come home with, and my practice is bigger and better and ever whenever I come back from Mile High. So I am super excited that you joined me today, my friend.
Yes.
September 21st, milehighchiro.org. Joe Arvay is going to be kicking off the weekend. It's going to be a Mile High adventure. And again, I say this with every interview. Bring your team, and I encourage you to schedule 3-4 days on the front end, 3-4 days on the back end. You're coming to the most beautiful state in the country. Spend a weekend, love on your family, love on your team, love chiropractic for the weekend. Just have a great time and kickstart the end of summer and your fall with a chiropractic inspiration to turn it up to 11. Thank you, Dr. Joe Arvay. I'll see you September 21st in the Mile High region. Thank you, my brother.
Love you.